Hi, my name is Mark Biernat. I'm a monetary economist, and in this video, I want to talk about declining aid to Ukraine and why Ukraine will win and prevail and Russia will lose. I'm going to examine this from a couple angles, and I'm also going to have a suggestion towards the end of the video of how we can help Ukraine. So the first thing is this. U.S. aid might decrease. With the Orange Man and the Vance Man and the 2025 plan, it looks like America is going back to the age of empires, a certain mercantilist idea of high tariffs and the fact that everybody has to pay America. That's an oversimplification of the 2025 plan. There might be some good elements objectively in there, but generally that plan, that high tariff, that type of thinking is contrary to Adam Smith. Adam Smith was 1776, Wealth of Nations, was such a revolutionary breakthrough when he articulated and conveyed that Wealth of Nations involves comparative advantage, specialization, and that is the real pixie dust magic that makes economies work. When you jettison that idea through things like tariffs, the world, and nobody can predict the future, will go into a major recession, maybe economic depression. That will put pressure on the Russian economy like you can't conceive. Right now, Moscow is pawning their oil and gas and resources, non-renewable, in back alleys and cheaply. And they can barely do that. When an economic depression or recession of great magnitude triggered by isolationism of the largest and most powerful economy kicks in, the whole world, all boats go up and down with the rising tide, will have ramifications and echoes, and it will already put another straw on the camel of Russia's back. That's one scenario I'd like to put out there for you. Second scenario is, we don't even know if the Orange Man and the Vance Man are going to win. Because there's no prognosticator or tea leaf person who can predict the future. I cannot predict the future. Nobody can. Think about your own life and how many currents and eddies, and as time flows, twists and turns, you would never imagine yourself 20 years ago in the place you are right now. So we can't predict that. And I alluded to that in a previous video. The second component is Germany is cutting aid from $8 billion to $4 billion. And Ukraine will sorely miss that. I'm a realist, and that will be sorely missed. Where is that coming from, Germany? I think Chancellor Sergeant Scholz of Germany, Sergeant Scholz, is getting some behind-the-scenes influence from his old buddy in Moscow. Maybe not, okay? But the proof is in the pudding. Aid is being cut in half. Will that affect anything? If U.S. stops aid, will that affect anything? Of course, as a realist, I'm not going to sugarcoat, and I will say yes. In a conventional trench environment, when the trenches get deeper and deeper. But that is not how Ukraine will win. Let me tell you a story from a Ukrainian fairy tale. It's called the Willow Goat the Goat. I don't know if that's a good translation, but it's Willow Goat. And it's about this bully, ornery, cantankerous goat that kicks a hare out of his little, beautiful hovel. The hare, in great despair, goes to the giant wolf and said, I need your help to eject this goat. When the wolf showed up, the goat said, I can kick and scratch, and I'm the meanest and scariest. The wolf took off. The hare, in despair, went to the fox. And I don't know why the fox didn't, okay, the wolf didn't attack the hare, but whatever. The fox said, I'm so clever and strong and powerful. And even if my canine brother could not, I can. And so the hare went to the fox, brought him to the hare hole, the hobbit hole, his lair, okay? And again, the fox was intimidated and ran away. The hare was in despair, and then a crab came along. A tiny crab said, I can help you. And so again, the situation was, it was this tiny crab against this big goat. And the crab pinched the heck out of the goat and intimidated it until it ran away. And the hare got his house back. What's the point of the story? You don't win in conventional ways by digging bigger trenches and having more just external supply. Think about Afghanistan and the British Empire. Think about Afghanistan and the Russian Empire. Think about Afghanistan and America. Think about Vietnam. Who won? Okay? Conflicts are won by will. You know, Schopenhauer, like I repeat, the world is a war of ideas. Well, the idea of democracy and freedom triumphs despotism. It's a more evolved idea. And you cannot defeat a population that doesn't want to be defeated. So Ukraine is going to have to try unconventional ways. And my suggestion, one of my suggestions is, I don't know why there's not a think tank out there, a website in which all the supporters of Ukraine, the 200, 300, I don't know how many million people are around, whatever, are logging ideas in unconventional ways that Ukraine can win. Because the last conflict is never like the next. And the end of it, the beginning may start one way, but it ushers in another avenue to win. Ukraine will prevail. And it behooves the United States and Western allies, if they love stability and peace, to help Ukraine. Because whatever we can say, as tragic as it is right now, with this support, there's some stability and incremental progress being made on the Ukrainian side because the Russian economy is being hollowed out. If you pull that carpet out from under Ukraine, like the Orange Man and the Vance Man want to do with the 2025 plan, Ukraine is against the wall. They may try unconventional methods. They're no longer restricted by the rules of engagement laid forth by, let's say somebody in the State Department. I'm not recommending that, but they may try very unconventional methods that haven't been tested yet. And there are very bright people in Ukraine to do something like that. And that is the way it's going to end, in an unconventional way. Not with the wolf and the fox, not with the U.S. and Germany trying to intimidate the goat, but in another way. And if, again, just as a word of warning, fasten your seatbelts, Dorothy, because Wonderland is going bye-bye. If the Orange Man wins, we might have a global recession of great magnitude. Because even if his plan makes logical sense, put together by the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank, which has gone sideways in my opinion, it would take years and years and years to retool. We would have inflation because of the input inflation. We'd have loss of comparative advantage and specialization. So it's hard to predict the future, but I think, in my humble opinion as an economist, that will create economic chaos and turmoil. And that alone, unintentional consequences, will disrupt the already hollowed Russian economy. And again, I'm sitting in a cold, icy spring stream, so I'm probably limiting my time in this video. I want to talk about how hollow it is. The Russians are like, wow, we can withdraw, stay at anything. Yeah, the more people say that in Russia from up top, the less I believe it, because they're all hanging in their bunkers and in the lap of luxury. Whenever rulers are more hunkered down in their bunker progressively, as in Russia and Moscow, that's a sign the economy is weakening because they know what the consequences will be very shortly for them. So Ukraine can win with reduced aid because they will resort to unconventional ways to defeat Russia. It will force them to divergently think, and divergent thinking beats convergent thinking every single time. whether it be on the chessboard, in business, in life, or in a geopolitical conflict. So all I can say is wait for that convergent and thinking to be defeated by divergent thinking, and the impetus for that is reduced aid. Now, on the other side, we can't predict the future, and aid in aggregate may increase somehow through Europe. But let's wait and see. Ukraine will win. Russia will lose. Mark my words for it. My name is Mark Biernat. I'm a monetary economist. Have a great day.